Good evening. Welcome to another session with the Schmucker Security Podcast. Tonight's guests are the Almas, the front woman and lead guitarist, Crystal and Frank. Guys, thank you for being on the show tonight.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having
having
us,
us.
man.
Um, it's been a while, but I remember helping you guys load in for a show that I was working with Redburn in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yup.
We got
I
to know
believe
each
that
other.
was just a little over a year ago.
Was
Yep.
it already?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, been a year.
Oh, holy cow.
Yeah, it's been a while, and we've kept in touch and been watching you guys grow, and I see you guys are getting like bigger spots and bigger outtakes on your gigs that you're getting booked.
Yeah.
Well, we're working hard.
Trying.
Trying to.
hmm
You guys are doing. I mean, I seen you got didn't you have a ship or a cruise or something that you were getting booked on?
Yeah, that is happening this September. We're heading out. It leaves out in Miami. I want to say it's the 9th through the 13th of September.
hmm
I remember I'd reached out to see if you needed help, and he was like, "Yeah, not on this thing. They ain't letting that. They wouldn't even let your crew come on that, would they?"
Nope.
Nope, it's just the band. Even our guitarist Josh, his wife has to come on in a different capacity. So,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
she's our main photographer. So even if they're not having anybody.
No.
That's good though. That makes it less. The restriction of that keeps it less stressful and things keeping track of everybody.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Have you been on one of those before?
Not a rock cruise. I've been on cruises before, but this is going to be Frank's first time on board.
Yeah, I've never been on a cruise before, and sometimes I get motion sick when someone else drives, so we're going to see how this goes.
Right on. So, are you guys excited to be able to perform on this?
It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to the vacation.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, no, the performing's obviously great, but there's a whole bunch of bands, and we only have to play one set. Then after that, we get to just have a nice, relaxing vacation. So
How many days is it?
5 days, 4 nights.
Yes.
Oh, see, I guess that is a vacation.
That is, man. It's gonna be great.
So, for those of my followers and listeners that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you guys do, and how long you've been in the industry.
Whew. Well, as you introduced, I'm the lead guitarist of the Almas, and the band has been around since 2016, heavily touring since 2019. But I've been playing guitar since I was 13, and it's almost 20 years now. But yeah,
Right
I've been doing the band thing for quite a long time.
Yeah, I'm Crystal, the lead vocalist. Only vocalist,
Only
I guess.
vocalist, yeah.
But yeah, so I've been only in music since 2017. Actually, May
Really?
of 2017 was my first
Mhm.
show I ever played with my former band that I was in. And then later on that year is actually when Frank asked me to try out for the Almas. So that's how I ended up here.
Wow, I've been listening to music forever, but I never really got into dived into music until what 5, 6 years ago maybe.
Sure.
And the music I listened to then was everybody knew who they were. And just the last few years I started listening to more local bands, more indie bands that are openers for like headline acts because headliners have a gig and a tour and everything they need. They keep flowing. They don't have to struggle to find their spots.
Yeah.
And the openers, now being in security and doing a lot of different things with the different artists and celebrities too, is sometimes you guys have to pay to get on a stage. Sometimes you don't get paid to be on stage, and other times you may make a good check that night. And that's where I was like, some of these up and coming bands and ones that are now like right there like you guys are, because you and Adelita's Way and Redburn and uh, Rehab, those bands are at a level where the music is phenomenal. I mean, it's on some point with any other major label band out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, I had listened to your songs online and on YouTube when I right before I went to work with Redburn, and I had already knew Chris and the rest of the band from working with them here in town, and I was like, who's the openers, who's the headliners, and I'm like, okay, Scotty Austin and Almas. I'm like, all right, let me go check these guys out. And when I found out Scotty was the head singer of the formal Saving Abel, I was like, oh, okay, I know who he is now. I just didn't know his name because I was still like fresh in discovering stuff.
Yeah.
And so, and he's going to be on our podcast here in a few weeks.
Awesome.
Oh,
Well,
awesome.
tell him we say hi.
Yep.
I definitely will. And so, as I started to discover more and more bands like yours, I was like, oh, I'm getting ready to go to the show, and your songs, especially the one that you've allowed me to use in my movie, Ignite. If I'm not mistaken, was it Ignite? No, I tried to get a song to be used by you, but I had to go through your
Our
record label,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and we still haven't came up. She hasn't got back in touch with me.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm still working on trying to, because you got two songs that I wanted to use one in my film,
Mhm.
and because I got one of Redburn's, and Scotty's working on one with me too. So
Oh, very
I'll-
cool.
Cool.
I'm just trying to include people that I've worked with, worked around, and try to give them more of a platform in other areas that people may not see or hear that stuff.
Yeah, of
You know?
course. Awesome.
And being able to hear you guys for the first time, and then being able to help load in your gear and sit and talk with you guys was like, while I'm a fanboy with everybody I meet for the first time, I also, as I did with you guys, kept it as professional as I possibly could. And there's times when you meet people and they just can't stop being a fanboy. And I know as an artist and talent and celebrity status, when you go to meet and greets and you get bombarded at a table or outside, that you want to be treated just like I am.
Mm.
And you want your privacy, and you want your time alone when you want to go out back and make a phone call and check in at home or something.
Yeah.
And you got fans that are out there and they just bombard you to, hey, can I get a picture? Can I get while you guys enjoy that, there's also a time and place for it. And as like with my shows, security, I try to keep it a level where we're all on the same level, so you can feel relaxed like you are right now at home chilling, and people want to come in and try to be real indifferent towards you guys. And that's why I wanted to start a podcast to bring on bands, wrestlers, celebrities, artists, poets, anything, to give them a highlight, to talk about their career and what they get out of it, how they feel, where their message is.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, where do you get your inspiration for your music? And do you just have does it come in a dream? Do you just have a vision from something in life that happens to you, or is it just a spur of the moment type thing?
It's usually when I'm sitting on the porcelain throne, taking my No, just joking.
Just shower thoughts.
Just shower thoughts, bathroom thoughts. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you gonna say?
On a serious note, I think at least like with our current EP and like our newer sound, it's very in the moment. Like we had two weeks in the studio to write this album, and granted, we came in with 5 songs. We only recorded one of those 5 songs that we came in. And by the end of the 2 weeks, that one song that we recorded, we ended up mutilating so badly. The only thing we kept of it was my vocals that we tracked and Frank's guitar solo. Everything else got rewrote. And that was our song Life Jacket that's unreleased currently. So
So you had to do a whole album in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you went in with 5, chopped one completely to hell, and then
wrote 4,
barely used any of it, and then wrote new songs on the spur.
Absolutely.
Our producer Kyle Odell, he really honed in on our sound in that time. We brought songs in. He was like, I like the songs. I like what you guys write. But he's like, I don't hear the almas. He's like, so we're going to spend this 2 weeks figuring out who the almas are. And I'm like, okay, deal. And then so we just wrote on the spot, like I said, all the pressure. Like example, Burnout. We were prepping for a tour. And so we were prepping for a tour, went right in the studio, tour afterwards. All right. So, and I was overworked and everything, and everyone else is pretty beat up in the studio. So Burnout is actually about being completely overwhelmed, and just we were drinking like 3 energy drinks a day, like 4 or 5 Starbucks runs every day in the studio. And so we're all burnt out. Our producer, he probably didn't have a day off for like 6 months.
If not more.
He's just been living in that studio, sleeping on the couch and whatever. He's a work dog, he's a workhorse, and he's an amazing producer. But so he was burnt out. So that burnout comes from that feeling of just being so run down and like, you know what? I don't care if it kills me. We're going to write this damn album.
Now we're going to make it happen.
Nice. So we've taken on writing in the moment, we used to jam as a band, but now it's just like, let's get in the studio and let's see what comes out,
like riff moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Getting there, just start strumming some Crystal, you just start humming away, and the next thing you know, you got something.
Kyle, he would put together some chords. He asked Crystal, come with the chorus, and boom, here's the chorus. And he goes, we piece song together, whatever. He goes, Frank, we need a guitar riff. Go figure something out. I'm like, oh crap, I'm like, oh no, this pro producer's asking me to write a guitar riff. I'm like, oh,
so you guys
ready for it,
Help.
So
Help.
you guys, when you
drowning.
When you guys practice, so you're just in there playing around, do you have a machine that records what you played, so you don't have to try to remember how exactly it was?
No, I just for Burnout, a couple riffs, I just went in the other room and I just I had a little phone recording, or Kyle bounced me the chords that I was supposed to write the riff over, and then that was kind of it. And I just noodled out there, and I was like, I come back in the room, I was like, Kyle, I got this, man. You like this? He's like, we can work with that. And then he'd tweak it, and then bam, bam, boogie. We got ourselves our guitar riff. So, yeah. But it's one of those it's one of those things, work really fast. Don't overthink it, because as artists, and you start to overthink things, and then you get stuck in your head, and you get stuck in a box. And so Kyle's whole thing was like, don't worry about it. No one knows what you thought existed. It doesn't matter. No one cares right now. It's not released. So who cares?
You care, but no one else is gonna miss it.
Yep. So who cares? So so that's how we
concept.
Yeah.
Because once you release it, that's when people start caring.
Exactly.
They're not listening to the how did you get there. They're listening to what have you given us.
Exactly. So,
but as artists, you want to be perfectionists. I mean, everybody. I mean, I draw, I tattoo. I'm doing multitude of different things right now, and every little bit of it, you want to try to say, "Oh, this has to be perfect," or you see it, or you hear it, and you're like, "Oh, I should have did better with next time. I'm going to do this."
Sure.
Yeah.
And I get that, but your producer was right. You spit something out, you love it, you like it. leave it alone. Let's go to the next thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Because our problem with the song we released before, our last single before this new EP we went in the studio for was Reflection. That song took us 2 months when we really were working out everything. I scrapped the vocals on it probably 2 or 3 times and redid the melody at 2 or 3 times as well. So it's that one we were really just oh, well, it has to be perfect. It really has to come up with the vibe. Now, granted, I think what it turned out to be was exactly what it needed to be. But if we would have had that mindset, I'm curious how it would have sounded.
I think there's a time and place for everything. If we want to sit down and write a song that's going to take 3 months, well, let's sit down and write a song that's going to take 3 months. Whatever. But when it comes to the studio and just cranking out an album, I the pressure and all that is kind of really nice. I like that. It just forces you to think and work and get it done. And I tend to work better under pressure, so that works great for me.
A challenge with a deadline can always most times if you're good at what you're doing, that deadline and pressure makes you do it even better.
Absolutely.
So let me ask this question, and since we were hitting on how you got to your songs, when you get your song and you've got it studio ready and it's ready to do whatever you need to do with it, when you get ready to go on tour, from the point of you releasing that song out for everybody to hear and start to love to the time you go on tour with that song, how long do you got? What's the lead up to going on tour with that song?
So we've actually been playing this whole EP. I'd say January 2023, we actually came out with all of them, I believe. The beginning.
Yes.
Or no.
Yeah, it was 23. We had them all done. I mean, it was all done by.
Yeah, everything was ready to go, but our performance of it, because October we were already playing, I'd say half the EP, and October of 22, the year that we recorded it, we were already playing out half of it. Then come January 2023, we were playing the full EP live, unreleased. So we've been playing it, getting everybody excited for it before releasing the songs.
Yeah, one of the key for us, once the song's recorded, I want to play it out right away, because the truth is we need to road test it. I test it with the people. I know what song I like, okay? I personally like, but I don't know what a majority of people are going to like. So if you start playing the songs out and they go, man, they really like that song Lifeline. Okay, well, maybe with our new sound of the whole EP, maybe that shouldn't be the lead song. Let's put another song out and try and see how people receive the new sound, and then kind of hold back. And that's kind of what we did. Lifeline is, I think the band agrees that Lifeline is kind of our bread and butter. That's the first song that we wrote in the studio, and it's got a lot of meaning to it. It's banging. It's got riffs. So it's just we road test the songs, kind of thing. So we, like Chris said, we've been playing them for over a year now. Over a year now we've been playing them out. But we play only a handful of people a night, so they hear the songs and what have you. But now you're going to release it to the world with the internet, and so now the rest of it, now people can check out the band online and go, okay, I do like that song, let me go see them. So we treat our fans who do come out to the new music early. They deserve that. So.
As a fan too, when I gotten to hear you the first time live, and then just watching you guys grow and hearing the new stuff you've been putting out since I got to be there the first time. I was excited. I wanted to get through my podcast that night so bad. I really wanted to push it off, but everybody was already ready. And I was like, I can't push it off because I wanted to come out, because, with anybody else that I've worked with, if there's an event that I can either work, help them out, or can afford to go into, and then once I'm in, I'm in, because now you guys will know me, other people will know me, and know that I'm not a normal fan off to the side trying to get their way in for whatever reason.
Sure.
I'm there for other reasons, and mine are more professional and respectable than being a normal fan.
Sure.
And having the opportunity to work with you and work with everybody else that I have is an honor, because you guys, like you just said, you spent 2 weeks to crash a whole new album in a short amount of time, and it was all from scratch. And that's the thing I'm talking about with creative artists and the talent that everybody doesn't take into account. What it takes to hear that song on YouTube or to hear the song on Spotify or anywhere else, they hear a 3 to 4 minute song, they fall in love with it, but they don't take into account that 4 minutes is months, weeks, hours, sleepless nights to get that 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so, as a fan, I want to say thank you for, putting all the hard work you do for a 3 to 4 minute song that has meaning to somebody in the world, and they relate to it, and they can feel it and understand it. And like the 2 songs I'm trying to get used are relative to what I'm telling in the story. And that's just something that I said, everything has a relation to something, and it just, you got to give every little bit of music a chance, because you never know what you're going to like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of that, when I put this out, is it okay to use one of your songs for the intro to your podcast and outro?
Yep.
For the podcast, absolutely.
Yep. No problem.
That way it's an introduction for your music that they get to hear as they get to come into the interview.
Sure, absolutely. No problem.
So tell me about the upcoming tour that you guys got coming.
Well, this tour is more, I guess we'll call it the U.S. tour. We're going, where are we going?
So it's kind of Midwest based, more so. We're hitting a lot of like Illinois, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Ohio.
Hopefully Kentucky.
Yeah, potentially Kentucky, Pennsylvania. And then that's basically that tour. So that's going to be, I think, 3 or 4 weeks of itself.
Yep. And then we drive from Pennsylvania at the Gettysburg Bike Week, right?
Yep, Bike Week.
Drive home to hop on a plane to fly over to the UK.
Oh, you're going to the UK.
Yeah, we got
our very first overseas tour that we've ever done.
So we're going to be announcing the official dates hopefully very soon.
Very nice.
Yeah, so.
But the U.S. dates will be announced actually even sooner.
Yeah.
So.
And then right after that, remember I was telling you how like we were burned out and all this crap? Well, I never learned, the band never learned from our past experience. So right after the UK, like 2 to 3 days later, we're right in the studio. We fly back and right into the studio. Now we're going to write a new album.
Yeah, we'll have like maybe 2 days at home.
Yeah, maybe
2 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
and then right after the studio, we have 1 day to get home and play Rock to Stop 22, which is one of the biggest events that we support.
The veteran
for veterans suicide awareness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right on.
So that's going to be a fun drive.
Yeah. Then after that, what do we got? Like
the following week, we've got a festival, Havoc Fest in Jackson, Michigan.
Yeah. More or less, we have like 3 weeks, maybe like 2.5 weeks. We have a couple weekenders, but then we head out
on another
tour that takes us to the cruise, and then that tour will more than likely take us to the end of October, and. So
I think Burnout Part 2 is going to come at the end of the year, isn't it?
I think so.
It's only rock and roll, man.
It's lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
you touched on something that you guys sponsor, which is on your shirt. At the end of your at the end when we're done talking, I would like for you to send me a link for that I can include at the end of our podcast when I release it, so others can come and help support and follow it as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And aren't you guys right next door to me in Illinois?
We're in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay.
Close enough.
I knew you were close. I just didn't know how close.
It's right on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin, so it's basically Illinois.
Yeah.
So, anything else you would like to tell our viewers, or any other little stories, or how you all came together as a full band, or any type of history?
Ooh. Well, fun fact: Crystal is not the original singer of the Almas. There used to be another female lead, only for like a year though.
Yeah.
We almost disregard that. Yeah, that startup year. But no, that's a fun fact. Another fun fact: we've put almost over 200,000 miles on our van since 2019, and we
is that the same band that you had over there in Ohio?
Same van.
So 200,000 miles basically we put on between now and 2019, and we can just disregard all of 2020 because no one did crap.
Yeah.
So we've done a lot of road miles. That's a fun fact.
Wow.
Yeah. Obviously, we're huge supporters of veterans. If people didn't know, especially veterans who struggle with suicide. So the event that we're talking about is called Rock Stop 22. It's to raise awareness about the mental struggles that our veterans have. And if you didn't know, over 22 veterans a day commit suicide. And it's insane. And, whether you support a war or whatever or not, I've always been a big supporter of our veterans. And once we heard about this event, and I never knew that statistic either. And once we heard about that, I was like, wow, that's something that people don't really know too much about. So,
my grandfather was guarded the emperor during the Korean War and was also part of another war. I'm not sure what that, but I know he guarded the emperor of Korea during that war. And then my wife's dad was in Vietnam. So
wow, that's awesome. Wow.
So we support that.
That's awesome, man. But yeah, so we're huge supporters of the event, and that's happening in August. Yep, August. So yeah, if we shoot you the link and everything, you guys can go and follow the Facebook page or the website or whatever, and get all the details for the show. But it's a great event. Yeah, we go tubing. It's called tubing, but other people call it something else.
I don't know. Floating, I guess.
What, like in a big inner tube in the river?
Yeah.
The lazy river.
Sort of, but it's like a real river. They drive you up the river, and then you spend 4 hours baking in the sun, drinking beer or Red Bull or whatever, just floating down the river,
4 hours of floating? That's crazy.
It's awesome. So you have 2 days of like festival and like, I guess partying for Rock Stop 22, everything. And then on Sunday, we all go tubing because it's at a campground. So they drive you up to the town or whatever, and you tube all the way down back to the campground where the concert's held at. And yeah, it's a good time, man.
I want that link. I'm going to put in, see if I can, if they need any photographers or anything else like that, try to get on board.
Yeah, I know previous years they've had podcasters or people who have shows go there and live broadcast.
No kidding.
So I'm sure that's an option. Yeah, it'd be great, man. We'll get you the hookup.
Right on. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the 30-minute mark, so we can continue with some more discussions, or if you're comfortable, we can cut it off here. It's all up to you guys. You get 30 or 40, 60 minutes.
Well, I feel like it's important to at least discuss our newest single.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
I totally agree. Yes, please.
Yeah, Lifeline, by the time that this is airing, is officially released.
Yes.
So this is our most explosive music video yet. We basically filmed a mini movie and then put our music to it.
Oh,
So speaking of Rock to Stop 22, we wanted to make sure that we dedicated this song to the veterans, to Rock to Stop 22. And so Lifeline is very much so based around like military aesthetics. So you'll see us in kind of like our Top Gun style uniforms and doing like the slow walk across the tarmac. And Frank's actually a helicopter pilot and a fighter jet pilot in this music video.
We rented a helicopter, we rented a fighter jet, we rented
wow.
an hangar. I'm not kidding, dude.
You got an airplane, you got an Air Force plane and a helicopter?
Yep. Some private jets. I am not kidding.
Well, yeah, definitely.
It is wild, dude.
It's worth a lot.
It is, yeah. It was
I
funny.
bet it is.
And it was a 2-day shoot, and both days were brutally hot. The first day I think might have been worse. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you drop that, send me that link, and because I will either put that at the end of your podcast so people can go check it out, and then that way they have a direct link to check it out.
Okay,
awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We'll get you a
problem.
link as soon as we're done here, because we have an early link to it, so you can watch it, but don't share it.
Oh, I'm not going to share it until I see it's aired. Then I'll put it, tag it to this. I appreciate that. Right on.
Yeah. So, yeah, but this is our flagship song. This is the one we're most excited about. I think this is the one that, all our music videos, we try to do things as real as possible by not using too much CGI, stuff like that. Real flames like in Burnout or real rain in Cage. So yeah, we figured, well, if we did fire and rain, well, we got to do something with the sky. So airplanes.
But none of us actually have a pilot's license, so we had to fake some of that stuff.
Yeah, but but no, this is the most theatrical, the most, I don't know, it's the most
pizzazzed music video.
Yeah, this is, I've never done anything this crazy in my career. So
you felt like you was on a movie set.
Oh, dude.
At times, definitely felt like it.
Like the helicopter we used, they had the cockpit cut off because the helicopter that we rented was used for movies, for doing shots in and stuff.
It was an actual helicopter that was downed in Vietnam, was it?
Or yes,
it was
Vietnam. Yeah, it was actually shot down in Vietnam, so it's got like all the bullet holes in it. I mean, it's insane.
Nice.
But the thing is completely empty. So we had to put in flight cases and hang all this stuff and put ratchet straps on stuff on the walls to make it look, like it's an actual helicopter in service. And then, so we then got another helicopter, which had a almost complete full cockpit. And so then I sat in that one and we did the shots in there. And like I said, there was a fighter jet. And big shout out to the Russell Military Museum here in Wisconsin.
No, it's Illinois.
It's actually in Illinois. It was right across the border, but in Illinois, for allowing us to rent the space and use it. The guy was super cool. Like when Hollywood needs like period accurate stuff for like war movies, he's the guy that gets the call because he's got period accurate stuff. Yeah. So
I believe even one of his tanks was used in the original Red Dawn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy's been in Hollywood and just doing the special effects kind of thing, and so he had all the stuff to make this thing like legit. So it was really cool. It was just a neat experience, and to have it be like all local places, like the airplane hangar that we used was a hangar right like 15 minutes down the road that was allowed us to use their
from Burlington, Wisconsin.
Use their airplane hangar and the tarmac, and so it's cool that a lot of local people helped out the band in doing this, and it's really cool. It's just really neat, and then we went to it was a military surplus store in town.
Yeah, in Kenosha or Racine.
Yeah, in Kenosha, yeah. Right near us too. So we got a lot of our military stuff there. We purchased a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and
all of the patches, the pins.
The flight suit. And, just a bunch of stuff. Harnesses, helicopter harnesses and just really neat things that we were able to purchase from there. So yeah, it was a community thing. Let's call it that. It was just overall was a real good experience, and I'm hope that good experience for us translates to the audience and the fans too in watching the video.
Yeah,
So
we're basically DIY till we die. So we made sure that as much as we could do in this in creating this music video, we were very hands-on with it.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. I mean, see, you open even more skills to your repertoire doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun releasing, having released a lot of the behind-the-scenes footage that CAH Promotions was able to take of the whole shoot. And you'll see like pictures of Frank and our videographer, Austin, like putting up like all of the different tarps and stuff. And it's, you just see the behind the scenes of, oh, that's not what it looked like in the music video. This is them prepping the helicopter.
So in the music video, you'll see like the helicopter shaking and stuff, while we're all seated in it. Well, I'm not in the back of the helicopter. So me and my friend, I call him my brother Zay, he's like a 300-pound Samoan. Him and I are jumping on the one side of this helicopter to make it shake, to get it to shake enough. So while they're filming, him and I are just jumping and it's like 100 degrees in this damn helicopter because we covered up both ends of it, so there's no airflow. So him and I are like jumping up and down, trying to get it to rock. It's ridiculous.
And it didn't move it like too much, but it moved it enough where you see like the straps in the background, like the hooks are kind of like moving.
Just like if you're flying.
Just like if you're flying, just that little bit of a shake on some of the stuff that was hung up inside.
Yeah.
And then of course, Josh, Andrew, and I are like shaking in the shots, like making it look like we're flying.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's good stuff right there. Yeah, that's how I'm getting ready to start shooting my movie. Still having to figure out how to do all that little added stuff that to make it look good is the complication. That's the thought process of how can we make it look good.
That's the movie magic, man. That's it.
It is.
Yeah, my dad, he used to be in theater and do a lot of theatrical stuff. So, I learned a lot of tricks from him, like the old school way of doing things. And so I try to translate that into our video shoots as much as we can, to make it real. I mean, to me, even like movies or anything back in the day were really cool because they would use real effects and real this. And to me, it's like, that's so cool.
That's what made Star Wars so awesome.
Yeah, that's what made Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah, like you said. And so why not do the same thing? Yeah, you could CGI all of it, green screen it. Yeah, and you know what? In the future, we are going to do some green screen stuff. We are going to do a bunch of CGI stuff because why not? We want to try our hand at that too. But, let's do it this way first. Let's do it. Understand what it's all about.
Do it step by step.
Yes, sir.
You can blend the two, but also being able to, solely rely on green screen. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So that's when it's just like, well, let's make sure that we can physically create something.
Yeah. And plus we're, like you said earlier, we're full and we're DIY till we die, fully independent. So it's like, we have to figure out how to do this kind of stuff. We can't afford tons of green screen and all this editing and that stuff's expensive, man. Like,
hey, I'm learning myself.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, we're trying to, do it on a budget too, as much as we can. And that's the fun of it. That's what makes it fun, man. Try to figure it out.
Exactly. So let me touch base on who's your favorite person you've been on tour with so far.
Oh,
A Light Divided.
A Light Divide is always great, but you can't. We just toured with Silver Tongue.
Yeah,
and
Silver Tongue.
Speed Limit. He's my
Speed
favorite.
Limit. Those guys have literally become brothers.
Yeah.
They're
okay, I'll be nice. Give me your top 5.
Top 5. See, that's better.
Okay, I'll be nice and say
still
top 5.
Not great, but
well, Silver Tongue for sure, and
A Light Divided. There's Reign of Z.
Yep, Reign of Z. They're great.
she's got a
just
song
Steve-
in my
it was just
she's got a
Steve-
song in my film, and she's gonna be on here next. in a
Oh,
couple of
awesome!
years.
Yeah, Brandon Z.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
just Bird's birthday the other day.
Yeah, Bird.
Yep.
We talk to them on a regular basis too. You know, Scotty Austin's a riot
Scotty's
too.
so
His whole crew, they're great. They're just good
They are.
people to be around. I really like them too.
And then let me
We only left with one more.
Hmm.
Oh man.
What?
Hold on. City of the Week.
Yeah.
City of the Week was
yes,
good.
City of the Week.
Staff and
I
her.
absolutely
yeah.
adore them.
Yeah, they just good business mindseted people. Really
Yeah.
got their stuff together. Just it's nice to tour with professionals. You know.
Yeah.
And that's not to discredit other people we've toured with. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, you put us on the spot. We
We're
don't
trying to
have
think. We've
favorites.
done
for a
so
reason.
many tours, so we have to
Yeah.
literally like go back in the Rolodex in our head and just.
I know, because I was looking through some of your past flyers that you've listed of who you've toured with, and I was like, I don't want to touch on one. I don't want to touch on this one. I want to touch on 5 or 6, but I wanted to leave it up to you guys to highlight what your favorite parts of those tours were.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we love, especially like when we get to play shows with locals in the areas that we come around. Like that makes it even more
Yeah.
fun as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's there's too many to name from even just this last major 2-month tour that we did. We met.
With Closure, who was the band? Transient?
Yeah, Transient
They
was
hopped on
band.
for a handful of dates, and they were fun. I guess they were local-ish to the area, and they were fun, real fun guys to tour with.
Yeah, so we're in talks of doing a tour with Transient. We're looking at doing another tour with Closure. We're looking at doing
Yep.
there's a bunch.
Yeah, we're
there's
trying to get
just there's so many.
Mhm.
Have you guys toured with Eva Under Fire?
We've played
No.
a show with Eva Under Fire. We have not toured with them, but I'm not sure if they'd be open to do anything with like independent bands.
Yeah.
Because considering they're signed to a major label right now, so I'm not sure what their schedule, their openness to their schedule looks like. But
And if they're able
I mean-
to do tours with independent artists,
Yeah.
there's a lot of red tape.
Yeah, I've realized that.
Yeah, and so, but we would like to. I mean, you know, that's definitely one I think would be great.
yeah, I think it would be such a killer tour.
Yeah, it would
That
be so good.
cool.
It's just a matter if we can pull it off and getting a hold of the right people to try to do it too. I mean, we could
Yeah.
contact Ava
Yeah.
ourselves, but you know, they got management and other people. But we'll figure it out. We'll make it
Yeah.
happen. You know,
You know
we're
what?
gonna
We
make it
will
happen.
try for you. We'll
Put it-
hit them up. We'll put it in the universe.
Yep, it's gonna happen now.
We're gonna put it out there.
And I
You
know,
make that, and I'll be at as many shows that I can get to,
Hell
because I love Eve Under Fire. They were one of the favorite people to be around.
no, they're
They're
great.
so talented.
The other band I really wanted to get a tour with is Paralandra. I don't know
Oh
if you
yes, yes, I know who they.
Yeah, Cassandra and I have been talking, trying to get something together, just trying to get our dates to line up. It's just they're so busy, we're busy, and it's like trying to even get like 5 days is all I want. I want like a good weekend, you know. So I'll put that in the universe too.
Put it out there.
That's gonna happen too. Matter of fact, I have to message her now that I think about
Mhm.
it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time tonight and coming out and telling everybody a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you doing it for me, because, you know, it means a lot being not only a fan, but being able to do something for others and being able to use my connections that I've made over the years to interview people and get their message and their word and what they do out to everybody. So it means a lot for you to come on, and hopefully after this burnout part 2 that you're all about to take, I'd like to come back again and see how all that went, if that's a possibility at the end of the year.
Absolutely, brother. And thank you for creating a platform for us artists and everything. It helps so much. You know, we can only do so much. And it's the fact that fans believe in what we're doing, and we believe in our fans. So thank you. Thank you for that too, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you. You guys have a good night. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in and checking us out. if you haven't already, there'll be links at the end of the podcast after the credits and everything for you to check out the almas. You'll be able to find out more about their support, about what they do, what they follow. If you're a lover of music, go check them out. Help support, share it, like it, leave comments. If you got something to say to Crystal or Frank, just reach out to me and I'll make sure that I forward it over to them. I thank you guys and have a good night.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Shattered sanity. Wish I could wake up from this nightmare taking over me. It's do or die, do I try my own mortality? I'm reaching out, but no one hears me. Screaming for a lifeline. I feel it in my bones, there's no place left to hide from the darkness in my mind. So thin, I'm not giving to all my misery. I can't escape it, must embrace this mess I'm living in. It's do or die, do I try when all I want's the end? I'm reaching out, but no one hears me. Screaming for a lifeline. I feel it in my bones, there's no place left to hide from the darkness in my hanging by a thread, halfway dead from being alone with the war inside my head. I need a lifeline. I give what I got, but it's never enough. Now fell on my face in my exact smoke disgrace. I can't hold on. I need a lifeline. I feel it in my bones, there's no place left to hide. I'll keep screaming for a